Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of biology. And of course today, very evidently, we're looking at the human respiratory system. Okay, I'm sure you'll be enjoying the respiratory system since we began. Okay, more episodes will come and we'll be done with the respiratory system before we move on to the excretory system. All right, do not forget that these tutorials, these video episodes, they are brought to you by the O3 Schools JAMB CBT practice application. If you have made a decision to pass your JAMB exam at once, please get that app. By all means, get it, activate it, and start using it. We'll talk about the features of the app, but let us see a JAMB pass question from the app. This is a 2017 question, number 19. 2017 question, number 19. Okay. All right. So this was gotten through the question search feature. All right. So now it's been displayed on the screen. It says in the process of respiration, energy is transferred from glucose molecules to the molecules of A says ATP, B says ACTH, C says DNA, D says RNA. Okay, so in the process of respiration, energy is transferred from glucose molecules to the molecules of A, B, C, or D. If you do not know it, you do not know it, okay? But that's why we pride ourselves at O3 Schools, because in O3 Schools, we give you value first. But we first teach you, and after we don't teach you, okay? If you see question, you will feature one, okay? All right, so please ensure you get the application, okay? Watching our videos and having the application is a guarantee for your success. The app has everything you need to succeed in your exam, has all the past questions for all subjects in one application under the practice for UTME. If you go to practice for UTME, okay, you see all the past questions, okay, for all the subjects on the application. Likewise, the app has what a classroom. There's a classroom feature. It has been shown on the screen right now. Okay, all of the features have been shown on the screen right now. There's a classroom feature there. In the classroom, you have your JAMB syllabus in that classroom. Then you have class notes, digital class notes, structured according to that JAMB syllabus. And then there's a special feature in that classroom called study plan. Okay, in that study plan, you can create a study schedule or a timetable. Okay, and that study plan will crash all of your JAMB syllabus. Okay, and then break it down for you so that you can study daily until the day of your exam. All right. There's a question search feature. You can search for questions just like those. Search for this question. We just went to biology. Question search biology. Search for respiration. Questions came out. We pick the ones we need for this class. All right. So the feature can help you a lot. Then of course there's a mock challenge on the app every Saturday. So please ensure that you participate in that mock challenge. Okay. In that mock exam, you are competing with everybody that's writing JAMB on this year. Okay. You are competing with everyone writing JAMB. All right. So of course you are going to see your score just like normal JAMB exam. And all those things will help to remove fear from you when the main exam begins. Okay. So please participate in our mock exam. We have mock till 1 week to the main JAMB exam. So every Saturday by 10 a.m. mock, 10 a.m. mock. There's always mock on the app. All right. So please, all of these features you are seeing, okay, goes for an activation fee that's less than the price of one turkey in the restaurant. Now go and price how much one turkey is. One turkey feather. Okay, in the restaurant, go and price it. All right. So please do not this is a feature. All right. So do not joke with it. Okay. So let us go to the human respiratory system. So before now, all right, we talked about the digestive system, all right? In that discussion, we explained, because even in the last class, all right, we explained that during digestion, complex nutrients, complex food substances or complex nutrients, they are broken down, okay, into simpler forms, okay, during digestion. Okay, the complex nutrients are broken down into simpler forms, okay? And these nutrients that we're talking about here are mainly macronutrients, okay? Macro. M-A-C-R-O, macronutrients, all right? So, we have macronutrients, then we have micronutrients, all right? So our macronutrients include carbohydrates, okay, it includes proteins, okay, it includes fats, okay, and water. These are our macronutrients, okay. While the micronutrients include vitamins. Please take note of them, okay. It is not part of what we are discussing today, but of course it's good that what we know them. You see them in your past questions also. Okay, so we have our micronutrients, we have vitamins, we have what our minerals. Okay, mineral salts. Okay, these are what our micronutrients. These are our macronutrients. These are micronutrients. All right. So now, these are mainly what our micronutrients. So during digestion, complex nutrients, they are broken down into what? Into simpler forms, okay? So these nutrients are what? These carbohydrates, these proteins, fats, and water, okay? And we know that our carbohydrates that we are seeing here, we classified it in the last class as what? As an energy-giving food. We said carbohydrates, okay? They are what? They are energy what? Giving foods. They are energy-giving food. Energy giving what? Foods. Okay, so carbohydrate is what? Is an energy what? Giving food. All right, and then it has to be broken down into what? Into its simplest form. Okay, and the simplest form where in which carbohydrate is broken down into is what? Is glucose. Okay, so now after this carbohydrate have been broken down into a simpler form called glucose, all right, it is then what? Transported to what? To a different part of the body where it is what? Where it is needed. You know that after food has been digested, the next stage is what? It's absorption. Okay, absorption by what? By the villi. Okay, and then to the what? To the microvilli. All right, so villi is what? Villi is bigger than microvilli, right? So the microvilli is what? Smaller than what? Than the villi. So the villi, microvilli is an extension of what? Of the villi. All right. So absorption of what? Of food, okay, takes place, okay, in the what? In the villi. What the villi does basically is to what? Is to increase the surface area for absorption of what? Of what? Food or nutrients, okay? Is to increase surface area for the absorption of food nutrients. And after what? This absorption stage, what is the next stage? Is what? Is assimilation. Assimilation, okay? This assimilation is just what it means is what? It's just what? Utilizing what? These nutrients, okay? For what? For different what? Activities, okay? So that is what the next stage after absorption is, okay? After absorption is what? Is assimilation. And this assimilation is just what? Utilization of what? Of these what? Nutrients. I hope we are following very well. So now the glucose has now been absorbed, okay, into the what? Into the bloodstream, all right, and then it is now transported to different parts of what? Of the cell where it is what? Where it is needed, okay. And in the cell, what happens is that glucose itself is broken down, okay, is broken down to what? To release energy, to release energy, okay, all right. And this process whereby glucose, for example, all right, is broken down to release energy is known as what? As respiration, okay. That's what we call what? Respiration. Respiration. All right. So the process whereby glucose is broken down to release energy is known as respiration, okay. And of course, since it happens in the cells, okay, if it happens in the cells, we call it what? Cellular respiration. I think I hinted that in the first class. Okay, so if it happens in the cells or within the cells, we call it what? Cellular respiration. So the difference between respiration and cellular respiration is not that much, okay? The difference is just that respiration is the breakdown of what? Of glucose to release energy, while cellular respiration is the breakdown of glucose to release energy inside the cells, okay? So yeah, the difference between them is just that cellular respiration specifies the location where what? That what? Breakdown, okay, of what? Of glucose what? Happens, okay, where that release of energy what? Happens, okay, where it is happening, that is what? Cellular respiration. But respiration itself is what? Is the breakdown of glucose to release energy. If it happens in the cells, okay, it is called cellular respiration. I hope we are clear. So most often, what happens is that in our body, glucose, okay, is what? Is broken down in what? In most of our cells, okay. And what we see is that what? Energy is what? Is released, okay. Let us see that what? Reaction. Let us see what happens in the presence of oxygen, please. Okay, glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen to what? To release energy. Okay, so for example, this is our glucose, all right. Then, of course, in the presence of what? Of oxygen, O2, all right, is broken down to what? To what? To release what? Energy. But some byproducts are what? Are also what? Expelled, okay? CO2 and H2O, that are the byproduct that we get from what? From this what? Reaction, okay? So this is a chemical what? It's a chemical what? Process, all right? So glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen to release what? Energy, okay? But some byproducts that are CO2, Okay, H2O then plus what? Energy. So this is what happens. Okay, so these are the byproducts, CO2 and H2O. You must take note of what of these. Okay, all right. So you may be asked by an examiner that if glucose is broken down to release energy, what are the byproducts that we get from it? Okay, so we get what? Carbon dioxide and water as what? As byproduct of that what? Chemical what process. Okay, let's keep that to what? To heart. So we already know that what this glucose, it is coming from what? From the food that what we have taken in, that is what digested. Okay, so glucose is coming from the what? From the digested what? Food, and then from there it enters to what? Into our what? Our bloodstream. It is transported. Okay, it enters into our bloodstream. But this oxygen, where is it coming from? All right, this oxygen, we say that glucose, okay, is broken down in the presence of oxygen to release carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Where is this oxygen coming from? Okay, it's a very, very interesting thing. Let me give you like 3 seconds to think about it. Pause the video and you let me know if you got it in the comment section. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now if you said that glucose is gotten from the surrounding, you are very, very, very correct. Okay, so in our surrounding, okay, there is air, AIR. AIR, okay, and you know that what this air has what composition, right? So the composition of air, okay, include what? For example, we say that air is a mixture of gases. Air. I don't know how to pronounce it very well. Air, okay, you know the air I'm talking about, AIR, okay. So air is a what? Is a mixture of what? Of gases, okay. In this air we have nitrogen, comprising of about 78% composition. In this air, we also have what? Oxygen, comprising of what? 21% what? Composition. In this air, we also have what? Argon, comprising of 0.93%. In this air, we also have CO2, carbon dioxide, comprising 0.04%. In this air, we have what? Some gases. We have what? Neon. We have what? Krypton. Okay, we have helium. Okay, we have xenon. Okay, we have methane. Okay, and all these are what? They are available in what? In trace amounts. In trace amounts. Okay, it means what? They are very, very small. Okay, so the composition is very, very, very small. And also, even still in this air, we also have what? We have pollutants. We have dust particles. Okay, we have smoke particles. We have pollutants. Okay, we have what? Pollutants. Okay, so all these you see here, okay, they are what? They are the composition of what? Of air. All right, so we have nitrogen, we have oxygen, we have argon, we have CO2. Okay, so all these are the composition of air, and that means that what? When we what? Okay, so if you want to ask yourself, how does the air, okay, how does the oxygen get into our body? Okay, it enters into our body through what? Breathing. Okay, so when we breathe in, okay, we breathe in with this air. All right, so and that oxygen that we breathe in, okay, usually what contains what? All right, it's a composition of what? Of air. All right, and when we breathe in oxygen, okay, so we are taking in what? We are taking in what? Air. Okay, we are taking in oxygen into our body. All right, so how does the oxygen get into our body? Okay, where is the oxygen getting from first? From the surrounding. Okay, and then how does it get into our body? It gets into our body by what? By breathing. Breathing is a physical process in which what? We take in what? Air. Okay, or taking what? Oxygen. Air rich in what? In oxygen. Okay, and then what? It goes into what? Our body. All right, so these are the composition of what? Of air. So just take note of what? Of that, and hang it up in one place. All right, you should know that. Some of you say, where are all this coming from? Okay, you should have been taught in your primary school self. Okay, so I should have known from primary school that air is a mixture of what? Of gases. So we have seen that what? The air is coming from the surrounding and it gets into our body through the process of what? Of breathing. Okay, because we say that breathing here is a what? It's a physical process. Through which what? Air is taking into the body. All right, so please take note of what? Of that. All right, it's a what? It's a physical what? Process. Breathing is a physical process. So now where is this air going? Where is this air that we are breathing in? Okay, this air that is rich in oxygen, where is it what's going to? Okay, where is it going to? All right, where it goes to through breathing, because as we breathe it in, all right, where it goes to is to what? Is to our respiratory what system. Okay, this air goes into our respiratory system. All right, so that is that for that. So the respiratory system is the system that is responsible for making oxygen available to us. Okay, that is system responsible for making oxygen available to us. Okay, so when we breathe in, through the process of breathing, okay, when we breathe in what air rich in oxygen, all right, it what goes into what? Into our respiratory what system. And having known that, okay, the next question you'll be asking yourself is, now that we have breathed in air, okay, and it goes into our respiratory system, all right, which part of the body, which organs are responsible for what? For taking this air into our what? Into our body. Okay, and of course that's what we want to look at what next, and that's why we have this diagram here. Okay, the diagram of what? Of the human respiratory what? System. Okay, so everybody what has a nose. So the human respiratory system begins from what? From the what? From the nose. Okay, nose. Okay, so the respiratory system, okay, it begins with what? To the nose, okay, and the nose has what? Two openings that we call the nostrils. Okay, so the nose has two openings called what? The nostrils. All right, and the nose is made up of a soft, spongy structure. Soft, spongy structure called what? Cartilage. All right, so the nose is made up of a soft, spongy structure known as what? It's very, touch your nose, it's very soft. Oh, my own is very, very soft. Okay, so the nose is made up of a very soft, spongy structure called what? Cartilage. Okay, and it has what? Two openings, and that is where what? Air what enters what from? Air that is rich in oxygen enters from. So it's wrong to say that what? We breathe in air, okay, we take out carbon dioxide. Okay, we breathe in oxygen, we take out carbon dioxide. We breathe in air that is rich in oxygen, and we breathe out air that is what? Rich in what? In carbon dioxide. Okay, so we'll get to that. So now the nose is made up of a soft spongy structure known as what? As the cartilage. That is where the human respiratory system what? Begins from. Okay, so from the nose, as you can see, it goes to the what? To the nasal cavity. Okay, from the nose we move to the nasal cavity. All right, and the inner lining of what? This nasal cavity has what? Mucus. It has mucus. Okay, and there's also how what? Some air-like structures. Okay, so if you look into your nose very well, you see that you see air inside. Okay, air grows inside. Okay, there's also what? Mucus. Okay, that is produced. All right. Okay, how is this mucus produced? Mucus is produced. Okay, with the help of what? Mucous membrane. Okay, that has what we call goblet cells, and submucosal glands. Okay, so the mucous membrane contains what? The goblet cells and the submucosal glands. Okay, so what the goblet cells do is to secrete what? Mucus, to keep the nasal passage moist. Okay, to keep the nasal passage moist, to keep the nasal passage what? Moist. That's what the goblet cells do. What the submucosal glands do is to what? Is to secrete additional mucus. Okay, most especially when what? When you are irritated. Okay, it's what? It produces what? Additional mucus when you are what? Irritated. And of course, this mucus, okay, the content of the mucus is first of all water. Okay, it has water to what? To make it what? To make the nasal passage what? Moist. To make the mucus what? Moist. There's water. There's also what? Mucins. Okay, mucins, they are proteins that give mucus is a sticky what? Consistency. You know, mucus is very, very slimy and what? And sticky. Okay, so that is what? Mucins. All right. They also have what? Antibodies. Okay, they have to what? Trap what? Pathogens. Okay, all right. So these are all the what? The content of what? Of the mucus. All right, and of course, at the end, how is this mucus? Okay, remember I will say that what? It contains mucus and some air-like structures. All right, so how is this mucus removed? Okay, from what? From the nasal what? Passage or from nasal what? Cavity. All right, it is removed by the aid of what? Of these air-like structures. So this air-like structure, when you know, let's say you have what? Mucus on your nose, what you do? You draw your nose, and then when you draw your nose, this air-like structure what will push the mucus, okay, to the what? To the throat, and then from the throat you can now what? Either cough it out or swallow it. Sorry. But that is what happens. Okay, so that is what happens. So to expel this mucus, the airline structures, as you what, draw your nose, okay, the airline structure was to push the mucus to the throat, and then from the throat, instead that you do that, now I used to do now, or what some people what they'll swallow it. All right, so that is that about what the mucus. So the purpose of what this mucus and this airline structure basically is what is to trap what dust particles, okay, and what and germs, okay, from what from entering into what into the respiratory system. That is a major purpose. Okay, the major purpose of what this mucus and the airline structures is to what is to trap what dust particles, okay, is to trap what germs, right, from what from entering into the what into the respiratory system. Okay, so that is what the nasal cavity, and that's what happens in the nasal cavity. Okay, so from the nasal cavity, okay, it goes to the what the air that you are breathing in now goes to the what to the pharynx. Okay, all right, so that's our pharynx here. Where's our pharynx? It's our pharynx here. So for the nasal cavity, it goes to what our pharynx. So the pharynx, when we did talk about what digestive system, okay, we also mentioned what the pharynx. Okay, we said the pharynx is what is an accessory organ. It is not majorly part of the digestive system, but of course, it also what assists, it aids what digestion. Okay, it's an accessory organ. All right, it's an accessory organ. So the pharynx is a common opening. The pharynx is a common opening for what? For both what the digestive system and the respiratory system. Okay, it's a common opening for digestive system and respiratory system. Okay, so that is what the pharynx. Okay, it's a common opening for what? For digestive system and the what and the respiratory system. Okay, now there's some question that will come to your mind. All right, since the pharynx is a common opening for digestive system or for respiratory system, all right, how does the pharynx? How does our body know that it is food that we want to swallow, or how does our body know that it is air? Okay, that's what we want to just breathe in. Okay, so this pharynx, there's after the pharynx, there's something we call what the epiglottis. Okay, a flap-like structure. But let us stick with this pharynx first of all. The pharynx is a common opening for digestive system and respiratory system, and that is why if you notice, if you hold your nose, okay, you can also breathe through what your mouth, isn't it? Yes, if you hold your nose, you can breathe through your mouth. It's because of what this pharynx. Okay, so this pharynx is a common opening for both. It separates what the digestive system from what from the respiratory system. And how does our body know that it is actually food that we want to swallow? If it is food that is coming and we want to swallow, what happens is that the epiglottis. Okay, where is the epiglottis? It is here. Look at this flap-like structure. We call it what a flap-like structure called the epiglottis. Okay, we close the respiratory side of the pharynx. Okay, so it's that opening. It's a common opening. Okay, so it will close the respiratory side and then it will leave open the digestive side so that the food will go into the esophagus. Okay, so that the food will go to the what also one will call what esophagus. Okay, sorry, esophagus. Okay, so that is what happened. Okay, so sorry, esophagus. Okay, so that is what happens. So the pharynx, okay, the epiglottis, first of all, we help to lock one side of the system so that the other system can function. If it's food that's coming in, okay, it will lock or it will close it's a flap. It's like a leaf-like structure, a flap, okay, or it just close, okay, all right, and then it goes to the esophagus. If it is food, if it is air that's coming, okay, it will close the other side. Okay, so that air will go to the respiratory side. That is what happens. Okay, there. So the pharynx is a common opening for both the digestive system and the respiratory system. It's helps to separate, okay, both system. Now, so for the pharynx, what happens is that food now the air, sorry, not food though, the air now goes to to the larynx. Okay, so the larynx is the voice box. This larynx, LARYNX, okay, is the voice box. Okay, so this is what enables us to speak. Without the larynx, you cannot speak. Okay, it's what produces sound. So that is the larynx, the voice box, as you can see it here. Okay, it's a voice. It's called the voice box. Okay, as you can see, obviously, is what? It's like a cup. It has a cup-like, it's a cup-like structure. Okay, so the larynx is what? It's a cup-like or structure. Okay, so that's what that produces was sound. That's what enables us what to speak. So from the larynx, you can see the air now going to the what? To the trachea. Okay, the trachea is also called, that is this trachea, it's also called the windpipe. Okay, the trachea is also called the windpipe. All right, so that is the trachea. Okay, so the trachea, as you can see, it has what? It has rings. Okay, it has what? Rings, a ring-like what structure. Okay, just like a C. Okay, it's not a completely what a ring. It's not a complete circle. Okay, it's a ring. Okay, it's incomplete what circle. It's an incomplete ring. Okay, but as you can see very well. All right, they also have what? It also have what? Cartilages, and this cartilage that it has, it helps to what? To give what the trachea what rigidity. Okay, so it has cartilage that helps what give the trachea rigidity. All right, so as air goes from the larynx, it goes over to the trachea, which is called the windpipe. Okay, it's a ring-like cartilaginous like structure, a ring-like cartilaginous like what structure. Okay, and what the cartilage helps to give the trachea what rigidity. So from the trachea, all right, it now goes to what? To the bronchus, okay, or to the bronchi. Goes to the what? To the bronchi. Okay, so now the bronchi also what look at how the bronchi is just like this. Okay, then now what divides further? The bronchi divides further into like maybe like like a tree now. Okay, divides further into what we call what? The bronchioles. Okay, it divides further into what we call the bronchioles. Okay, so the air is still moving, and then now what goes finally towards it enters toward our lung. Okay, our lung will have two lungs. Okay, we have the left lung and the right lung, as you can see very well. Okay, have the left lung, we have the right lung. Okay, so we have left lung and the right lung. And this lungs, they are spongy structures. Spongy structures. Okay, they are spongy structures, SPONGY, that are protected by what? By the rib cage. Okay, they are protected by the rib. RIBCAGA. Sorry, they are protected by the what? By the rib cage on the what? On the outside. Okay, so from there, the air now gets to the what? To the to sac-like or what? Balloon-like structures. Okay, alveoli, called what? The alveoli, like this here. Okay, so from the larynx, okay, from the larynx, it gets to the trachea to the bronchus or the bronchi. Okay, then it gets to the bronchioles, then it gets to the what? To, of course, our lungs. From the lungs, okay, inside the lungs, okay, we have what? Our alveoli. So our alveoli is the final destination of what? Of the what? Of the air. Okay, and our alveoli, they are what? They are sac-like or balloon-like what structure. Okay, they are sac-like or balloon-like. Sac-like. SAC. Sac-like or balloon-like structures. Okay, so that's what our alveoli. And our alveoli, they are rich in what? In blood vessels and capillaries. Okay, our alveoli, they are rich in blood vessels. Okay, our alveoli, they are what? They are rich in blood vessels and capillaries. Okay, and we know that what? Blood vessels are what? Are vessels through which what? Blood flows. Okay, so we know that already. Okay, so that means that what? The air will now what? Get to what? To the alveoli, which is the final destination. Okay, so now what happens during what? During respiration, okay, during breathing, okay, when we breathe in what? Air that is rich in oxygen, what happens? Okay, so first of all, gets to what? To the nose. Okay, we first of all breathe in the air through what? This our nostrils. Okay, from our nostrils, it gets to the what? To the nasal cavity. Nasal cavity, there are what? Mucus and airline structures are what? Are there. All right, of course. Then now from nasal cavity, it goes to the what now? To the pharynx. The pharynx is a common opening for both the digestive system and the respiratory system. We have looked at that. From the pharynx, it gets to the what? To the larynx. Okay, so from the larynx, it gets to the what now? To the from the larynx, it gets to what now? To the trachea. From the trachea, it gets to what now? To the bronchi. From the bronchi, it gets to what? To the bronchioles. From the bronchioles, of course, it now gets to what now? Gets to our lungs. Okay, gets to our lungs, and from inside the lung, okay, we have what? Our alveoli. Okay, so the air is now in our alveoli. Okay, so the air is present in our alveoli. All right, and of course, gaseous exchange occurs at the alveoli. Please take note of that. Gaseous exchange. Gaseous what? Exchange. Which is what? The exchange of gases. It happens. It occurs what? In the what? In the lungs. Okay? In the what? In the alveoli of what? Of the lungs. Okay? So now, how does this gaseous exchange what happen? So the air is now what? In our alveoli. Okay? So from the alveoli, guess what? It enters into what? Our bloodstream. Then the blood takes it what? To the cell where it is utilized for what? For respiration, to release what? Energy. Okay? So in the presence of oxygen, of course. So now I'm going to have what? Our glucose, which I've seen this reaction before. Okay? In the presence of oxygen, it gives us what now? CO2 plus H2O plus what? ATP, okay, plus ATP. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate, okay? That's what ATP what means, okay? So from glucose is what is broken down to what? To release energy, okay? So ATP is what? Is the energy that is what? That is formed. Okay, ATP is the energy that is formed. Adenosine what? Transphosphate. Okay, and how is this what? Energy what formed? Through a series of chemical reactions. Okay, it leads to the formation. We'll talk about this more. We'll talk about cellular respiration in another what episode. Okay, so ATP, just know that ATP is the what? Energy that's what? That is formed. Okay, and how is it being formed? ATP is produced, okay, in the what? In the powerhouse of what? Of the cell, okay, in large amounts, okay. So ATP is produced in what? In large amounts in the powerhouse, of the cell, called what? Mitochondria. Okay, so that is where what ATP is what is produced. Okay, so mitochondria, when we talk about cell organelles, okay, we talked about what mitochondria being the powerhouse of what? Of the cell. Okay, so this ATP is formed, okay, in the what? In the mitochondria. All right, and that is why we call the mitochondria the powerhouse of the cell, because that is where what? Energy is produced. Okay, so it's what powers what our systems. Okay, so it's what? The powerhouse of what? Powerhouse of what? Of the cell. It is called the powerhouse of the cell because that is where energy is what? Is produced. Okay, in the form of what? In the form of ATP. So glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen, okay, to give us what? Carbon dioxide and H2O as waste product. They are waste materials. Okay, and what? Energy is what is released in the form of what? ATP. Large amount of what? Energy is what is produced in the form of what? ATP in the what? Powerhouse of the cell, called the what? The mitochondria. Please take note of what? Of that also. So now the most important thing is now what? To ask yourself, what happens to the CO2? Does the body really need CO2? No, the body does not need CO2. It's a waste material. Okay, it has to be expelled out of the body. Okay, so blood that is what? Rich in CO2, okay, will bring what? CO2 to the what? To the alveoli. Okay, remember that what? Our oxygen is at the alveoli already. So blood rich in what? CO2, okay, will bring what? CO2 to what? To the alveoli. Then what happens is that what? Now gaseous exchange occurs what? Simultaneously. Okay, so what happens is that the oxygen goes into the bloodstream. Okay, so as that blood brings deoxygenated blood comes to the alveoli, because it is rich in CO2, it gets to the what? To the alveoli. The oxygen what? Will go into the bloodstream. Okay, and then the CO2 that is not needed will be expelled out through the same what? Mechanism. Okay, so from the alveoli, the CO2 is now present in the alveoli. From the alveoli, it will move, of course, to the what? To the bronchioles. From the bronchioles, it will move to the bronchi. From the bronchi, it goes to what? To the trachea. From the trachea, it goes to what? To the larynx. From the larynx, it will go to the what now? To the pharynx. Then it goes to the what? Nasal cavity, and we'll take it out through what? The nose. So that's why we breathe in air that is rich in oxygen, then we'll breathe out what? Air that is rich in what? In carbon dioxide. So that is what basically what happens. Okay, so please take note of what? Of all this. Now the bronchi and what? And the bronchioles. Okay, so the bronchi rather, or the bronchus, okay, is larger in diameter than the bronchi. Okay, so it's just like an extension. I think I showed you. Okay, this is like the bronchi. Okay, then these extensions. Okay, these projections, okay, they are what? Are the bronchioles. Okay, so the bronchi is what? Larger in diameter larger in diameter than the bronchioles. Okay, so that is how respiration basically what works in a nutshell. Okay, that is the respiratory system. Okay, from the nose to the nasal cavity to the pharynx, from the pharynx, of course, it goes to the larynx to the trachea to the bronchi to the bronchioles to the to the lungs. Okay, it takes to the lungs and then it gets to the alveoli. Okay, alveoli of the lungs. Okay, and then of course at the alveoli, gaseous exchange occurs. Okay, so in the next class we're going to be looking at the mechanism of breathing. Okay, how does breathing happen? Okay, so I would love to see you in that class. But before we go, let us take some questions from the O3 Schools app. All right, this is a 2022 question number 32. It said that can be defined as a biochemical activity of the cell in which glucose is broken down in a series of reactions controlled by enzymes to release energy. Okay, correct answer there was A says respiration, B says transpiration, C says perspiration, D says excretion. Okay, so correct answer there about to be option A, respiration. Okay, respiration can be defined as the biochemical activity of the cell in which glucose is broken down in a series of reactions to release energy. All right, that is respiration. All right, so please take note of that. Let us see another question. 2017 number 19. 2017 number 19 say in the process of respiration, energy is transferred from glucose molecules to the molecules of what? Of ATP. Okay, we'll say ATP is the energy that is what? That is produced. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Okay, it is still on the board. All right, so now correct answer is A, ATP. 2023 number 5 says which of the following statement is true about respiration in living organisms? Which one of the following is true? A says respiration occurs only in animals, not in plants, which is very wrong. B says respiration also occurs in plants, okay, in the stomata. Okay, we'll get to that, okay, briefly. So B says respiration is a process by which oxygen is converted into carbon dioxide. No, that's not what respiration is. Is it? No. So C says respiration releases energy from organic molecule through a series of chemical reactions, which is very correct. This says respiration is the same process as photosynthesis. Are they the same? No. Correct answer is option C. Okay, so there are many more questions on the application. You will encounter them countless questions on the human respiratory system. But if you understand what I have done here today, it will be very, very, very easy for you to go. Okay, so my name remains Master T. In the next class, we are going to look at the mechanism of breathing. I would love to see you there. Thank you for watching.